All right, switching gears. We have another email this week. This one comes from Daniel Steven, and he's wondering if gamers have become too picky. He says, I distinctly remember playing a lot of Dragon Ball Z Sagas on my GameCube as a kid. For those of you who don't know, Dragon Ball Z Sagas was a subpar brawler where you play through the first few seasons of the anime. Despite this game's low score on Metacritic, 49 out of 100, I don't regret my time with it. However, I rarely buy games today if publications score them a 6 or below. I feel this transition from I'll play anything I can get my hands on to I'll only play 8s and up is a transition many gamers have made. Is this a good sign that tastes of gamers are improving, or are players too picky these days and will miss out on potential favorites as a result? I think that's just when you're a kid and you have no money, you'll just play whatever.
Right.
And then as you grow up and you have your own spending money,
I agree.
you're a little more discerning.
It's largely economic, I think. As you get older, you're spending your own money. That's one part of it. Another is that the economy went in the toilet 10 years ago and in a lot of ways still remains there. And it's... spare money's hard to come by. And then you have to be more selective in what you buy.
And then also, like, linking right back to what we were just talking about, the race to the bottom. Like in terms of alternatives, when money is tight, if I can spend either no money or like $1 to get like 20 hours of entertainment out of some little mobile game, would I rather do that, or would I rather spend 60 on a big AAA title that might not do it for me?
I think there's a difference between being picky and developing critical thinking at a certain point in your life.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about this a couple days ago about the Nintendo 64, which is this console I hold in this high nostalgia, because I was it was right of that age, like before I actually started like critiquing art.
Sure.
And then, whereas after that, like once the next generation rolled around, I started being like, well, this isn't good for X, Y, and Z reasons, and this is for X, Y, and Z reasons. And so now, as I go on, it's like, well, yeah, I don't judge a game based on its score. There's plenty of games I've gotten 5s and 6s that I've enjoyed my time with.
Like Knack?
Yeah, like Knack. And just like the same thing, there's plenty of games I've gotten 8s and 9s that I haven't really enjoyed. So
Did you really enjoy Knack?
No, I don't know why. If we bring up Knack one more time, Mark Cerny's going to come through the wall.
And he's coming in as a
soothingly to us.
He's very soft-spoken.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
like, oh yeah.
It's ASMR.
No, I remember like renting a game like for a weekend when I was a kid, and like that was the one game you had for the weekend.
Yeah, totally.
So like when I like got Rambo for the NES and got home with it and realized immediately the game sucked, it's like, well this is what I got the whole weekend. This is what I'm playing.
Dan's review of No Man's Sky, I think, was pretty spot on, but I played a lot of No Man's Sky and enjoyed it. It had all the problems that he pointed out.
Sure.
And I still had a pretty good time with it. But looking back, I'm like, man, I could have been playing a good game I haven't played yet. And I do kind of a little go, well, I'm glad I got that context and that experience, but at the same time, wow, look at this list of things this year I haven't played yet. Why did I sink 20 hours in No Man's Sky?
And now you're getting into something else that I think is worth noting, which is we're kind of part of this first generation of people who carry gaming on into adulthood with us. We're the first generation to grow up with games from a young age and then continue playing them into our adulthood. And sure, you're right. Like, do we become more responsible with our money? Absolutely, because we're earning our own money and we want to make sure that if we're spending our own money, that it's only on something that we find worthwhile. But I think there's even a more valuable commodity that becomes even more limited supply when you get older, and that's time, right? And I feel like, yeah, sure, the $60 that can definitely hurt, especially if you don't. $60 is a lot of money for some people. You know what I mean? But even that being out of the picture, what's really even worse is like, why would I want to spend my time? Why would I want to spend 10, 20, 30, or even 3 hours of my free time that's at a premium for me doing something that isn't really blowing my mind?
Yeah, I play a lot of short games nowadays, and some of it's that those are the games that I feel like I can easily carve out time to dive all the way through it. To permit myself a little pun, diving into Abzu. That's a 3-hour investment.
Firewatch. Because the game takes place underwater.
Indeed, my friend. Indeed. Firewatch, or you mentioned Oxenfree earlier. Flower Journey, Inside.
Lighting up Firewatch.
Try to
come up with one for everything now.
But I don't think, and I guess it's continued through adulthood. I still prefer Portal to Portal 2, even though Portal 2 is probably more cleverly
jumping through
written.
Portal.
Exactly. Because it's short. I like the Portal short.
There is something to be said for using your own best judgment and not taking someone else's review as gospel.
Sure.
Though, by the way, right? Like, The Disgaea series is a good example. Vince and I love Disgaea, but
Yeah.
it's a pretty specific type of gamer
Yes,
who
it is.
likes those
Yeah,
games.
sure.
So while someone else might think Disgaea is a 7 or a 6, it's a 9 for us. Like, we love it. So.
Who likes
totally.
it? This guy.
No, same thing. We gave The Witness a 10. The Witness is one of my favorite games of the past couple of years. That's totally a game. If someone's like, this isn't for me, I'm like, I understand that completely. Sure. Because this game is for a very specific type of broken human being.